Iron wildfire near Eureka has grown to 22,000 acres and firefighters make a stand to protect property. Better news on the Bonneville fire. Thanks for joining us. I'm Brian Malahi.
And I'm Mika Miyashima. We have team coverage for you. Leslie Duarte is live in Salt Lake City near the Bonneville fire. Jill is tracking the weather conditions.
First, Annika Johns live in Juab County with new comments from the governor. Annika, what's he saying?
Yeah, good afternoon here. All right, so there have been some high praises and thankful hearts here in this area for those who are battling the fire back in the city of Eureka and the residents who had to leave their homes here, and thanks to those who, and they are giving thanks to those who have welcomed them in with some open arms.
Yesterday was a no good, very bad day for the state of Utah.
In less than 24 hours, the iron fire has spread across Utah and Juab County, growing to be over 20,000 acres. In its path of destruction, the small town of Eureka.
As of this morning, there were no homes lost, which is pretty much a miracle after what we saw last night. I mean, there was a time where we wondered if we were going to lose the whole town.
Governor Cox thanked all the agencies currently working around the clock to protect the homes and businesses in the small town.
The fire burned right up to the town, and there were moments where it was just touch and go last night as the wind was blowing, and I can't say enough good about our firefighters, just our fire crews, state, local, federal crews, everybody who showed up in a big way.
Lieutenant Governor Deidre Henderson says she was in the town last night when the evacuation order was given, describing the moment as terrifying, but praising Eureka residents for their cooperation.
Residents were told, once you see flames coming over the crest of this ridge, you need to evacuate. And about 15 minutes later, that whole ridge was aflame. This is a scary time of year, especially here in the state of Utah, and I hope this is a wake-up call for people in Utah.
But among the most touched during this morning's briefing was Clint Painter, a Juab County commissioner who says it's incredible to see the state come together for this town of less than 1,000 people.
It's emotional, honestly it is, because as the governor said, no one really comes together like Utah. It gives you hope in humanity. I guess that's the right ways. Just to see all these people, like I said, they dropped everything and came in and just helped each other out, and that's it's amazing to see that.
Now, at this point, the cause of the fire remains under investigation. However, officials do believe that it is human caused. Now, both the governor and the lieutenant governor says that they hope that this serves as a reminder for Utahns of the importance of being prepared and cautious, especially with the elevated fire danger that we are seeing statewide.
And Annika, you've been out there since this morning. Have you noticed the fire change throughout the day at all?
It's honestly been very consistent throughout the day here. Just behind me, I'll have Tim, my photographer here, zoom in just a little bit here. Obviously, we can still see some heavy smoke in the area, but it's nothing compared to what we were seeing yesterday. Actually, I can see a little bit of ash falling down. Again, we're in the city here, just a little ways away from Eureka, and we are actually just seeing a little bit of ash fall down here in the area. But as for the fire itself, we haven't seen many active flames from our perspective here, but definitely some plumes of smoke every once in a while, but definitely nothing compared to how it was yesterday. So it does seem like it is a little bit more manageable today, especially with the winds being died down. And of course, those crews are still out there working very hard to get this fire contained. Reporting live, Annika Johns, KUTV 2 News.
Okay, Annika, and continuing our team coverage, the Bonneville fire burning behind the U in Salt Lake City, now just under 500 acres, 0% contained.
Our Leslie Duarte is live from the fire scene where officials just provided the latest information. Leslie.
Brian, Mika, that's right. I'm here at the Bonneville fire, and just behind me you can see that fire activity. Now, fire officials tell me they should expect their first containment numbers later tonight, but they tell me it takes time for the fire crews to be up there to come back and provide that information. But this is what the scene looks like. There are some helicopters flying up above making water drops and some smoke smoldering in that hillside there. But for the most part, looks pretty calm, nothing like what we saw last night. Crews say they have made major progress on parts of the fire line, particularly on the southwest corner of this hillside. The fire activity has been much less aggressive than yesterday. They also say they're not expecting another large acreage increase, but that depends on how the fire behaves.
We want to keep the crews in good spots where they have easy evacuation routes if the situation were to change. And while we have seen active fire behavior today, it hasn't been large runs, which is really what we like to see, especially considering the conditions and the wind we saw yesterday, that we saw a lot of big heavy runs.
Now, no evacuations are in place, but fire officials have issued a ready-in-place order, which basically means that people should be ready to leave their homes if conditions change. Reporting from Bonneville, Leslie Duarte, back to you.
And speaking of those conditions, Jill is going to be checking them in just a minute. We have a wildfire special you can also check out on our YouTube site, KUTV 2 News, Salt Lake City.
Yeah, like you mentioned, Jill is tracking the latest on those winds. Firefighters, what are they up against today, Jill?
So today, the winds have been pretty consistent. It was yesterday when we had the wind switch on firefighters that things got really tricky. So yesterday, the winds were from the south all day long. Then the cool front moved through and the wind started pulling out of the north behind that cool front. And the fire completely switched because the winds were coming from different directions. So we've consistently seen a northwest breeze coming in today for that Bonneville fire, that fire burning to the east of Salt Lake, right in Salt Lake, pretty much on by the U of U. But with these winds, they haven't been as gusty today, so that's been nice. Right now we're in single digits. Some of our wind gusts have been in the teens is all, so we would call that breezy, maybe not even breezy today. It's been just slightly breezy. Then we go down south to that big fire in Eureka. That's to the west of Nephi. Same situation. Those winds made a big switch yesterday. When they switched coming from the northwest yesterday evening, that's when the fire started pushing toward the town of Eureka. Before that, the fire was pushing away. The winds were coming from the southwest, so it was a totally different situation. Now today it's been consistent. Those winds right now are at 10 miles per hour. Again, we would consider that breezy. Anything between 10 to 20 miles per hour is breezy. Those winds have consistently stayed coming from the north. And the wind gust potential, I just showed you the speed. The gust is how high some of those potential wind gusts could get. And you can see we get up into the 20s across the Wasatch Front, down through a little closer to that Eureka site, maybe the teens to 20s. So it's not super gusty out there this evening, but there's still a little bit of wind. Everything really calms down tomorrow morning. We also expect the relative humidity to come back up, which will help firefighters as well. And then for your Monday, we start to see a little bit of a shift in the winds where they start to push out of the south again for the southern half of the state and still out of the north for the northern half of the state. So we'll talk about that a little more coming up. We still have some smoke out there. It's not as easy to see as it was this morning in Salt Lake City, 86 degrees. Really smelled of smoke earlier. But yeah, we'll check out the wind speeds plus the heat. We are going to have high heat moving into the entire state this work week, and we'll talk more about it coming up.
You were coming back from southern Utah last night. The mountain was red hot.
It was. Over in Eureka, I mean, you could really see the flames going over there.
Wow. All right. And the kids were asking, hey, are we going to be okay?
Yeah, the kids thought, what is this? They really hadn't seen anything like it before. And it was right up there on the crest of the mountain. It was really something to see.
Yeah, especially at night. That orange glow was just
yeah, we saw it last night
what
at 10
a sight
o'clock.
to see.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, Jill, good to have you back.
Thanks.
Well, in Tooele County, the Hastings fire has tripled to nearly 6,000 acres.
Winds pushed the fire crews on the scene working to contain it. No structures threatened. People asked to stay away from the area north of Rydalsh Pass until further notice.
Firefighters are making progress on the Middle Fork fire in Weber County. It's burned nearly 350 acres in Huntsville, and it's 10% contained. Crews today are working along the fire perimeter from the ground and air.
Fire count going up. Utah Fire Info reports more than 330 wildfires so far this year. Whether by accident or not, most of the wildfires were caused by somebody. Nearly 45,000 acres have burned.
Investigators in Salt Lake are interviewing a person in a string of grass fires in the ballpark neighborhood. The fires may have been intentionally set. This is video Saturday. The fires were near Fayette Avenue between 300 West and West Temple.